Good evening. I'm your host, Modesty, and welcome to the Celebrity Spotlight Live Talk Show, where we take you beyond the lights, the cameras, and the action of celebs, authors, actors, radio hosts and personalities, performing artists, businessmen and women, and other noteworthy professionals. Tonight, Boss Lady Tuesday continues, and our special guest hails from the city of brotherly and, might I say, sisterly love, and that is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. None other than Patty Jackson. Patty Jackson is a radio personality of WDAS-FM 105.3 in Philly. How are you this evening, Patty?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you 100 times, 1,000 times over for taking time out of your very busy schedule to share your journey with us. And I just want to say before we go into the interview that, Patty, you have the most amazing smile.
Oh, thank you.
God, you have the most amazing smile. Your pictures, they speak volumes. And I'm one for discerning body language, voice tone, facial expressions, etc. And you definitely seem to be the kind of person everyone in a room would gravitate to because of that glowing smile. And just to put a little humor on that, have you ever thought about trademarking it?
Oh, gosh.
Yes, the reason I'm saying that.
I've always loved the smile, and what I like the warmth to radiate is people may forget your name.
So true.
But they'll never forget how you made them feel. So if you could greet somebody with a nice smile, I think it makes all the difference in the world.
And it sure does. It sure does. And you have a phenomenal smile. I've seen some of your pictures and some of the YouTube videos, and what's inside comes out, and that's a wonderful thing. Okay, Patty Jackson is Miss 411. Patty Jackson has a podcast. Patty Jackson, you're probably one of the hardest working radio personalities in the business, because I looked at your schedule and it says that you're on the air Monday through Fridays from 10 to 3 and on Sundays from 8 to 12. That's a heavy workload, and you're still able to smile. I'm telling you, what a blessing.
Well, you know what? If you love what you do,
that's right.
you'll never feel like you're working a day in your life. So for me, it's not work. Right. It's not work. I don't even look at it like that. It's nothing that I look at as drudgery. Right. It's something that I absolutely love.
That's wonderful to hear. That is so wonderful to hear, because, nowadays, if you took a poll or a survey, I'm sure you would probably get on a list of 100 people, maybe 95 of those or 98 would probably say, I hate what I do. But your very words is something that Steve Harvey said, if you love what you do and if it's not like working, then that's one way of knowing that you're doing the right thing and you're in the right industry. Okay, Patty, we're going to get started here. When did your journey in journalism/broadcasting commence?
It came in. I always had something to say. It started when I was young. It started in church. I was a little girl doing the call to worship. I was a little girl reading the poems in church. I was always in front of a microphone. It then translated to high school, where I became the high school announcer, where I would come on and greet everybody with what was going on in the school. They would let me play one record.
Okay.
And this is when rap music had just begun to take off. Yeah. So it was the beginning of that era. I could play one song, but I would let everybody know what's going on. The guy who was head of the athletic department liked my voice. And I became the basketball announcer, and I didn't know anything about basketball.
Wow.
But it felt way cooler than being a cheerleader, and I had people teach me. So I was calling the games. I was literally always in front of a microphone. Wow. And the pastor at my church at that time Greater Mount Olive in South Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Said, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to be on the radio. Now, I don't even know how that dream could have manifested or anything. I just knew it was what I wanted to do. I was a radio geek. I love listening to the radio. I love hearing people's announcers and their different styles, and I just thought it was so cool.
Right.
Radio is theater of the mind. No one can see you. But if you can make them feel you through the airwaves, then you know you're doing your job.
That's powerful.
But 6 months after I graduated high school, I didn't go to college. I got a radio job. I was interning, and somebody didn't show up for work. And I started off doing news. Now, you know, I never went to college, but when I turned 30, I did go back and I took some courses because I always felt guilty about that.
Okay. That is amazing. And it seems like from what you're saying, your steps were ordered, Patty, because getting into radio is not an easy task from what I understand. And even standing behind the microphone. And you started at such a young age. And anyone who does public speaking, who does singing or performing, anything like that, you've got to have confidence. Because if you don't have the confidence, you know, you'll be shy, you'll be coy, you won't be able to get your message across. But it started with you as a young person in the church. That's an amazing story. That is amazing, Patty. And a person didn't show up for work, and there you were, right there.
And there I was, and they put me on, and I was terrible.
No,
but they
Patty.
Liked me. No, I was. I sounded like a kid. I sounded very much like, who is this kid on the radio? And I sounded like a kid from South Philly because I was peppering everything with, you know. I sounded like a kid. I had to learn how to be professional. But I sounded like some kid from South Philly, and someone gave them a microphone. So that's how it started. But they liked me.
Well, they can't accuse you of being someone else because, like you said, they had to train you. You was Patty, and Patty had to learn what to do. They couldn't accuse you of trying to be like someone else on the radio because you were who you were. And then they had to give you some training on that. In 2006, you were inducted into the Broadcast Pioneer Hall of Fame. How did you feel, Patty?
Honored, very honored, because I still knew. I mean, you look 10 years later, I've achieved so much more than that moment. But it was an honor.
Yes.
It was an honor.
And you're a female at that, too. And with that thought in mind, you know, in the 21st century, women are making great strides in film, as CEOs of companies, and et cetera. Now, when you came into the business, Patty, well, how long have you been in the business, Patty?
33 years.
Oh, my God.
33, straight out of high school.
Unbelievable. Amazing. 33 years. When you first came into the business, Patty, were there challenges for women in this field?
There were. There were a lot of challenges for women, and you really had to prove yourself. But I had strong work ethic from my parents.
That's right.
If you come in and you do the job, and I always use a lot of sports analogies. You know, if you're up there like Hank Aaron and you're like, I'm going to knock this out the park, and you just, have that attitude, everybody doesn't have that.
So true. So very true. And the playing field, we're still trying to level it, Patty.
We're still trying to level it.
Yeah, we're still trying to level it in different areas. But we've made a great strides, and we've broken through. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop a woman. You cannot stop a woman who is determined, point blank, and who is purposed. No one can stop a woman who's determined and who is purposed. But I'm glad that you made it over those challenges, and being in the business for 33 years. So pioneer is a perfect word for you. Pioneer, trailblazer, Miss 411. I mean, you fit it perfectly being in the business for 33 years. So, Patty, you have met all kinds, I would say, of celebrities in the music industry. You mentioned something about sports in your early start. You started doing sports. Did you ever want to do that prior to getting into music?
If I could redo everything,
yes,
if
ma'am.
someone said you're going to start at the beginning, I would probably veer off into sports. I love sports.
Do you, Pat? Which branch
if someone
of it?
said,
Which branch, dear? NFL, NBA, soccer?
All of it. I love sports. I can sit there and have a conversation with the best of them.
Look, all right now.
I can sit and have a conversation. And most times, a lot of guys look at me like, wow, this girl. You know, but I do. I love sports.
Wow. So I know, oh, my God. Can you imagine, Patty, interviewing at this particular moment in time Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You're right. So amazing. He is so amazing. Such an amazing player. And he really represents, he is so adored.
Yes.
Because he is what the NBA likes. They like that image. They're always having image problems. You always hear about athletes being in trouble. Well, here's Steph Curry, proud family, NBA breed. He's got a beautiful family, and he's an outstanding player. And what's even more astounding about Steph Curry, he wasn't some kid who was all hyped on and everyone just tagged him a superstar. He worked through the ranks to be the best guard in the NBA. He wasn't the hype guy where everyone hypes. We see so many players and they're hyped on, but either from injuries, they never live up to the potential. Yep, they never live up to it.
Wow. But he has, and even with his injuries, he came back and he said, oh, my God. Yes, he's almost like unreal, almost like a robot. And another thing about him also, Patty, is he's a man of faith.
Yes.
And his family. And they put God in everything. He's definitely a spiritual man. And like you said, he's representing. And when you work hard, it pays off. Nothing in life, as my grandmother and mother used to say, nothing in life is easy. And anything worth having, you have to work for it. You definitely have to work for it. Now, I hope I'm not getting you in trouble by asking you this, Patty, but would you kindly share with us, if there is one, a particular interview that you conducted with a celebrity or an artist that was just the very best? I don't want to get you in trouble. If you don't want to mention their names.
No, I have many. Lionel Richie. That was a great moment because he's such a wonderful man. I felt like I knew him. Patty Austin, I felt like I was talking to myself. She was just so fun and down to earth, and I had such a wonderful time with her. Quincy Jones, to sit there in front of this man, this musical genius, and to talk music. I love really talking to the veterans. Yes, ma'am, yes. You know, where you could really just vibe and have a great conversation. It's almost like I've known you all my life. And that's a good feeling. That's a very good feeling. And just as you like talking to the veterans, you're a veteran as well, Patty. And I mean, have you ever conducted seminars about music or being in the being in the radio business? Because I've done panels. I haven't done one in many years, but I have sat on panels. Oh, okay. Right, and gave your advice and everything like that on it. I was also looking at one of your tweets this week, actually, and a gentleman said he was applauding you because he said you've been through so much. And then when I started reading about you, Patty, you had suffered, I believe it was a stroke. Am I correct? Yes. But you in those pictures, Pat, you do not look like what you've been through. Yeah. Not I suffered a stroke. 2 weeks after my mother died. Yeah, 2 weeks.
And
I was having my own little tsunami going on. And it knocked me down for a few weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm still doing therapy. But I was able to get back up. It has been a journey. I never thought that learning how to walk again would be so difficult or regaining my life. Yes. But it gave me a deeper appreciation for life because I am so grateful after that time of being down and not being able to lift my arm, not being able to walk.
Right.
You appreciate life so much more.
Yes.
You just have a better appreciation.
Yes.
I missed working. I missed being home.
Yes.
I did. I came out on the other side. See, sometimes we think of a blessing, it should come in a really pretty little box and real neat. Well, sometimes the blessing doesn't come that way. Sometimes it comes in a hard life lesson.
Yes, ma'am. Come on,
and what came out of that for me was a better appreciation for life, and I really had to start taking care of myself.
Okay.
Because as women, we put that cape on.
Yes.
You know, I was taking care of my mom. I am a mom. I'm working. We want to be super women. We want to keep our homes up and keep this up and keep that up, and it can get to you. It can get to be, rough when you just try to do it all. You try to juggle everything.
That's right.
And everything came crashing down on me, but there was such a lesson to be learned in it.
Yes. And I'm sure that I know the people missed you too.
They did.
I know that you probably got so many tweets and cards and,
people couldn't believe it. They were wondering what happened. No one, obviously the radio station said, but I came out and I said, I can tell my own story better than anybody can tell it.
That's right, Patty. That's right.
And I did, and I filmed a video, and I said, I've had a stroke. Wow. And I had a patch on my eye because my vision was just jacked up.
Wow.
But I said, I got to let people know what happened. I can't act like this did not happen.
Right.
To me. And I always think that we should use our life and lessons and things that happen as a way of helping and teaching others. Back in 2012, I had extensive dental surgery.
Yes.
And I lost every tooth in my mouth.
No, you didn't, Patty.
Every single one. I had gum disease that was so bad that I ignored the signs.
Yeah.
Bleeding gums are not natural.
Right.
Abscesses, and there are a lot of people losing teeth. I was like Beetlejuice. Teeth would just fall out for no reason. But my gum, it is a problem, and I've had this problem for many, many years. But when you ignore something, my mouth just literally fell apart.
Wow.
Fell apart. And it was Jill Scott who pulled me aside and said, look, you're a public figure.
That's true.
Why
That's
are you
right.
walking around with your mouth like that? You see too many people. You're in people's faces. And it was a wake-up call, and it was so funny because she says, I always thought you'd be mad at me. Because it wasn't like we were close.
Right.
We were friendly and knew each other, but it wasn't like, that's my girl.
And she could talk to you like that. Exactly, right.
Exactly. Right. I said, you saved my life. I'm glad you did talk to me that way.
Wow.
Because you were brave and courageous enough to call me on the carpet, but it made me seek out help. If she said that to me in September, I had surgery in February. See how fast God works?
Look at
I had my first surgery in December, but my second one in February, and I decided to share my story. Nobody wants to see the ugly. Nobody wants anyone to see the ugly side of their life.
Right. Just
but I said, if I could make you think about taking care of your health, if I could show you what happened to me, I wasn't 50 years old. I lost every single tooth in my mouth. And I know that God restored me because he's like, you got even more to do. You got even more work.
That's right. That's right.
And I do, and you're right. God blessed me with a beautiful smile.
Yes.
You're right. I show it off.
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Because I went through a lot, and I lost everything.
My Lord. Lost everything, but you're still standing, Patty.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep.
We just have a few more minutes left. And I just wanted to ask you, with everything that you've said tonight, Patty, I believe there's a book in you, Pat.
There is. I do want to write a book. I do.
Good.
I need somebody to help me write it, but I want to write a book.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just your confirmation if you needed one, because your story needs to be told. Your story needs to be told. And, we need teeth to talk, Pat. And you're in the radio business. So with you having to lose all of your teeth, the devil could have stood back and started laughing. I got her.
Yeah, right.
But I'm going to start calling you Miss Bounce Back. Because you're not only Miss 411, but you are Miss Bounce Back, okay? You lost your dearly beloved mom, and then a few weeks after that, you had a stroke. You lost all of the teeth in your mouth. There were so many losses, but I believe God for even greater gains for you, Patty Jackson.
Yes.
Greater gains for you.
Yep.
Greater gains. Mom can't come back, but we thank God for her memories. But you're still here as an extension of her.
You're right.
As an extension of her. You are who you are, but you're still alive. And when people see you, they see your mom when they see you. When you talk to them, they hear your mom. She's in you. You're here. God has blessed you to continue to be here and to affect someone's life. And I'm just so grateful that I have the opportunity to talk with you tonight. Lastly, Pat, I'm just going to throw these 4 words at you, and you can choose one of these words and just give us a little word of inspiration. One word is patience. There's forgiveness, confidence, and self-love. I'll read them again. Patience, forgiveness, confidence, and self-love. And you can choose one of those words and just speak to us half a second inspirationally, encouragingly with one of those words, whichever one you choose.
Self-love, I think, is very important. You have to believe in yourself, because man can let you down. Man will let you down.
Yes.
You got to believe in yourself that you can do.
That's
and
right.
that God will carry you through whatever.
Through whatever.
Because we look to man. Carry me. No, they'll drop you.
It's so true. You preach it.
God will never leave your side.
That is so true. That is so true. And you are the epitome of self-love, because, Patty, with everything that you have gone through, you could have said, woe is me.
You're right.
Patty could have given herself a Patty Jackson pity party and invited some friends to come to the pity party. And you could have just said, you know what, it's over for me. I'm never going to go back into radio again. I've lost this, I've lost that. But you love yourself, you love what you do, and you love people. And that's a wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing. So we're going to end because we have 3 minutes. But before we end, God, I thank you for Patty Jackson.
Thank you.
I thank you for her. Thank you for using her on the radio airwaves to encourage and to strengthen those who tune in to WDAS-FM 105.3. I thank you for giving Pat an extension on life. I thank you for giving her all of the tools that she needs for this next level, the book level. I pray that her book will become a bestseller, not only in the United States, but internationally, because someone across the waters, over the 7 seas, needs to hear about Patty Jackson's story. Someone needs to hear about her loss, and they need to hear about how she stood the test of time, how through her faith in you that she came through very, very difficult challenges in her life, and she is still standing. She is still talking. She is still speaking. Patty is still alive, and Patty is still filled with purpose. Continue to bless her life as she goes through therapy. Continue to bless her life. In Jesus' name, we thank you and I pray. Amen. Thank you so much, Patty. Oh, I enjoyed you. What a pleasure it was to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and you be blessed. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.